So the final piece of missing information is, who am I? Who is Mark Newey? And why do I have the right to make the bold statement that I made at the first video, the very introductory one? Well, my initial background was very corporate. I used to work in international marketing, traveling an awful lot, and very demanding situation, and I hated it. I was getting increasingly stressed, getting further and further towards burnout, but doing the English thing and saying, "Oh, I can cope, I can cope, I can cope." Um, I then basically actually got made redundant, although they wouldn't get away with it these days. The laws change. But I then set up my own company providing training using the contacts that I'd had before. That company was initially very successful and then very unsuccessful. And I'm afraid this tipped me over the edge. I'd not really dealt with the burnout leaving the corporate world, and it tipped me over the edge into a breakdown. Now, I come from a family that doesn't really do medication, so I was going to do everything I could to get to the bottom of how I was creating the mess in my head and what to do about it. So I first started by reading books on the mind, and I found that I developed an absolutely voracious appetite for anything to do with the mind. On present count, I've reached over 360 books, a lot of which you can actually see behind me. That's 360 books on the mind, how it works, on mental health, some of them on physical health, and so on. Anyway, going back to when everything fell apart for me, I basically went to see a hypnotherapist. Now, if you'd have asked me, or told me rather, 17 or 18 years ago that I was going to go and see a hypnotherapist, let alone train as one, I'd have laughed you from here to kingdom come. So it's funny how things work. But that parted the fog for me. It gave me the knowledge that actually perhaps things could be changed, and it just accelerated from there. And the more I read, the more I wanted to get trained. This was obviously where I was supposed to spend the rest of my life. So I got trained in hypnotherapy myself. I got trained in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and in life coaching. And the 5 sessions I've just taken you through are based really on a mixture of those three. Anyway, I have basically set up my own practice, Winning Minds, 17 years ago. And since then I've seen thousands and thousands of people, mainly for stress, anxiety and depression, but also fears and phobias, for eating disorders, dealing with alcohol problems, stopping smoking, dealing with drugs, gambling and that sort of thing. So I've gained a huge amount of experience on the way we live our lives, and the way we create realities that we don't want. And by the way, I've written a book, is dedicated to my clients, because without them I'd have my own learning from my own experiences, but the real value of what I've learned has come from every single one of my clients, because we all create our reality very differently, and I'm very grateful to my clients. So yeah, over the last 17 years I've been at the coalface effectively of mental health, full time, which is quite unusual, by the way. And as I say, I've learnt from every single client. And so organically over that period of time I've developed a program, a therapy program that I've called the Mark Newey method, which has very high levels of success. Over 95% of my clients are referrals or recommendations from relatives, friends, colleagues of people who have already been. And that's great, because they already know they're going to make the changes. If their friend can make the changes, then why can't they? Exactly. And this has now put me in a unique position to start taking that knowledge, train other therapists in the way that I work, and start opening up a network of mental health clinics so that we really can transform and revolutionise the way mental health is delivered in the UK. Please ring 0800 083 0143. Please email. My email address is mark@marknewey.com. Just get in touch with us. If you want to chat, just ring. We normally spend half an hour or so just having a chat, explaining how we work, finding out a bit about you to see if we can help you, and build a bit of rapport along the way. But please get in touch. We can help.